Okay. Come on, everybody. Come on in the chat room. We'll get things started shortly. I had to make sure I hadn't turned off the coffee pot. I was a little concerned about that. What's happening, Jeff? What's happening, Al? What's happening, Byron? Look at the chat room. It's already starting to fill in. Here we go. Adam is here. The dog is barking. So at some point here in the next few moments, I'm probably going to have to get up and let the dog in. It's like the dog knows exactly when to interrupt. All right, so before we get started on today's show, hi, everybody. I'm Pugs Moran. This is High Noon. We do this every Monday through Friday, noon till whenever. We cover trends, hot topics, current events, headlines. If it's stuff people are talking about, stupid little news stories, if it's things that are happening in the world, I try to cover it for you every single day. The show is utilitarian. It's a utility for you to use so that, you got yourself a little cheat sheet while you're moving forward through your day. Little cheat sheet of information of all the things the dummies out there are talking about. Now, my pledge to you with this show is that I try to stay non-divisive. I don't cover a lot of politics. You want to tune into a talk show in the middle of the day and you want to hear people tell you why your vote shouldn't matter or why you suck or why we're great. You can hear that anywhere else. And please go to the radio. Go to AM radio. You'll find that kind of stuff. We do dumb shit here. We do dumb shit. We do dumb over the back fence stuff. Like with your neighbors, you say hi and you lean over the back fence and you just start talking about nonsense. That's what we do here. But some of it's, useful. We'll give you real news, breaking news, stuff like that. All right, that happens every Monday through Friday. Then we do a second stream. We call that Pillow Talk. That's 9:00 every Monday through Thursday evening. That's myself and James Parker. It's more conversational. It's more long form, a little different than this. Like I say, this is utilitarian. That's more just me and James talking for an hour every night. All of these come to you free of charge right there at the Radio Misfits podcast platform. I do have to say before we jump into today's show that if you've been with us all week, this is my hell week. I don't know what the hell's going on with me. Very bad, very rough. That's okay, though. I've got all of my pills right here. In case something happens, I've been battling. It's the change in weather. It's been wreaking havoc with my allergies and my sinuses. And, E over in the big house, he's like, was it your allergies or is it your sinuses? And I'm like, well, they're two separate things. Because he gets mad when I'm having an obvious sinus thing, and I say, "Oh, it's my allergies." He's like, "Was that allergies or is that like it's important to him?" I don't understand where he's going with that, but that's fine. I'm suffering both. So let's roll through today's show. Hi, Dustin. Dustin's here. Melissa, I got to say hi to all the people that are showing up. Adam's here. Let's see here. Hey, where has Ross been? I was wondering, anybody seen Ross Rubio? I haven't seen Ross in the chat room in a couple of days. I'm just keeping track of people. That's all. All right, let's jump into what today's show is. It is the High Noon Show for the 25th day of August, year of our Lord 2022. It is the 237th day of the year. There are 128 days that remain until the end of the year, so you know what you got to do. On this day in 1609, Galileo Galilei, is that how you say it? I don't know. There was a song, right? Wasn't there like a kid's song on Saturday mornings? Galileo, Galilei. So Galilee, is it Galilee or is Galilea? Isn't Galilee a city in the Bible? I don't know. Suffice it to say that Galileo did something on this day. Galileo demonstrates his first telescope to Venetian lawmakers on this day. And then they threw him in jail for being a wizard. They threw him in jail for being a part of the dark arts, because even back then there were science deniers. 1814, on this day in 1814, oddly enough, during the War of 1812. I think you got to stop calling it the War of 1812 when it spills over into 1813 and 1814, right? You call it, it's called the War of 1812 because it took place between like November and like June and November of 1812. And it was contained within 1812. So you call it the War of 18. This is just lazy. This should have been maybe like the Revolution 2. Do you guys know anything about the War of 1812? I mean, look, I know individually some of you will be like, well, yes, actually, I am. But for the most part, do we collectively, like on average, do we know about the War of 1812? I don't think we do. I don't think we really do. Because it was on this day that the Library of Congress, United States Treasury, the Department of War, and the White House were all burned to the ground during the War of 1812. That happened on this day in 1814. The burning of Washington, D.C. Now, as a human being, as a grown adult, I do know that in history they burned Washington D.C. But I also know that I didn't know about that till like my 30s. I wasn't taught that in school. Well, why did we never learn really anything about the War of 1812 in school? I don't know. Anyway, 1944. On this day in 1944, Paris is liberated by the Allies. Hooah! On this day in 1948, the House Un-American Activities Committee holds its first ever televised congressional hearing. Known historically now as Confrontation Day, it pitted Whittaker Chambers versus Alger Hiss, accused communist blacklister Alger Hiss. And this is where famously Alger Hiss, all right, I'm going to butcher it, but he said something to the effect of he looked at the people who were bringing these ridiculous charges of communist activity. And, this was the blacklist. We all know about the blacklist where they decided, let's go after Hollywood. And so they just brought a bunch of stupid movie stars. And it was dumb. People lost their careers. But it was today that Alger Hiss, I believe, said, at long last, sir, have you no regard for human decency? Something like that. He said so. It was real fancy. It was like a burn. It was like a sick burn, but it was like a sick burn wrapped in like an Ivy League vocabulary. It was just cool. It was cool. At long last, have you no regard for human decency? It was a sick burn, and it was good. It's a historic sick burn. On this day in 2001, that's right, we're going to skip ahead. Nothing happened between 1948 and 2001. On this day in 2001, American singer Aaliyah and several members of her record company are killed as their overloaded aircraft crashes shortly after takeoff from Marsh Harbor Airport in the Bahamas. I remember this day. I remember the day Aaliyah died. That was, she was a bit boy, now because it was so long ago. What is that, 21 years ago? 21. So, good Lord, if Aaliyah had a baby on the day she died, that baby would be 21 years old today. Aaliyah was really about to become a huge star. She had a big recording career. She had a modeling career, and she was now acting. She was given a starring right, Queen of the Damned. Wasn't that the movie that this was all happening for her? In her plane crash. She's like, what was she, 20? It's like 21 years old. She's Aaliyah. Also, I'd like to get Aaliyah's take right about now, on the whole R. Kelly thing. Aaliyah, what's going on? Aaliyah would be like 40. She'd be like Britney Spears' age, kind of a thing. Well, what was really happening with R. Kelly? What was he into when you were 15 and you guys were married, or whatever it was? Whatever it was that happened between you guys that we collectively as a world just went, look at that. That seems illegal. And we all just turned and moved on for 10 years. We then eventually came after R. Kelly, Aaliyah. Don't worry, we came and got him. But it wasn't for like 15 years later. He had victimized like 15 years worth of underage girls before we kind of went, hey, yeah, about that. So it was on this day that Aaliyah. It'd be funny to think like, what's Aaliyah doing now? Like, what would 40-year-old Aaliyah be? Would she be J-Lo? Or would she have had like some crazy crash and burn? Would she be a curiosity more like Britney? What's Britney doing now? We're not interested in what Britney's doing now because we think she's going to blow our minds with some kind of new creative content. We're interested in what Britney's doing now because we know it's going to be weird and it's going to be like, whoa, God, that poor girl. So I wonder, would Aaliyah be like J-Lo? What's J-Lo doing now? When we say what's J-Lo doing now, it could be anything. It could be like building wells in Africa or, some really cool new movie project that she's doing. Or I don't know. Maybe Aaliyah'd be married to like Bradley Cooper. Be like Aaliyah and Bradley. I don't know. Anyway, that's a brilliant, bright young light that was snuffed out way too early. And by the way, just so you're clear, I don't blame 15, 16-year-old Aaliyah for hooking up with R. Kelly. I don't blame her. She was a little girl. He was a sex. I believe I can fly. He was like Mr. Sexy Guy. She was 15, 16. She was a beautiful young woman. He was like a superstar. You don't blame her. You don't blame her. Take it to the tango. That one of them's 15. She's a dumb kid. She's a dumb kid thinking she's with Michael Jackson, for crying out loud. Who, Priscilla did the same thing with Elvis. So stop it. Anyway. Hurricane Katrina was on this day in 2005. Hurricane Katrina made landfall in Florida on this day. Now, we don't really think about Hurricane Katrina in Florida. Mostly, I guess we think of Hurricane Katrina as New Orleans because of what it did, because of the levees and all that kind of stuff. There's another one here in 2017. Hurricane Harvey made landfall in Texas as a powerful Category 4 hurricane, the strongest hurricane to make landfall in the United States since 2004. Over the next few days, the storm causes catastrophic flooding throughout much of eastern Texas, killing 106 people and causing $125 billion in damage. Okay, so are we in the spring or fall, I guess, the fall, end of summer hurricane season? Because these are two major hurricanes that happened on this day in the not too distant past. And shouldn't we be hearing about hurricanes? Are there any active hurricanes that we should be concerned about? I don't know. Let's see here. What else do we have? That's it. That's it for the actual history of the day. Let's get into some birthdays. Friggin' dog. Do you hear the friggin' dog? I got to let the friggin' dog in. I apologize. I do. But we got to do this now. May as well get it done now. Let's go. Wait, you're satisfied there's nobody in the yard? You can go lay on an air conditioning vent now for the next 2 hours? Okay, sounds like a plan. All right, the dog is taken care of. Jeff says we're a couple of weeks out from hurricane season, and yet two of the biggest hurricanes in history happened on this day. So, I don't know. All right. I see Jeff down here. Jeff says washed up like Britney. I mean, how are we defining washed up? Because I get the intent of what you're saying. Like, I don't know. I don't know how relevant Britney is. But as far as being able to earn a living, she ain't washed up, man. She's got a line of Vegas casinos that want her to do a residency for millions of dollars a week. So, I mean, washed up. I don't know that, like, is a 41 or however old Britney Spears is now, is she relevant on the pop charts? I don't know, but she's Wayne Newton relevant. She's not washed up and, when people washed up, they go to Vegas, right? I guess maybe that's it. They're washed up, they go to Vegas, but that's not the way it is anymore. When you're washed up and you go to Vegas, you make millions of dollars like a week. It's crazy. These Vegas residencies. And Britney had one of the biggest Vegas residencies in history not too long ago. So trust me, she's not financially washed, but she is maybe creatively. I think I might agree there. All right, let's talk about some birthdays. Ivan the Terrible was born on this day in 1530. You know I love my Russian history. Ivan the Terrible, fun fact, terrible when he got that name didn't mean what it means today. It's not like Ivan the Terrible, like he was, oh God, he was such a bureaucrat. Oh, he got nothing done. Oh, the whole country. No, Ivan the Terrible, it's a formidable. It meant like formidable back then. Ivan basically first czar of a truly united Russia when Russia became a big power. So happy birthday to you, Ivan the Terrible. How about born on this day in 1918? Leonard Bernstein. That's right. Leonard Bernstein was born on this day, American pianist, composer, and conductor. Famous for the End of the World song. It's the end of the world as we know. Leonard Bernstein. It's one of the names that you can actually, it's one of the lyrics to that song that you can actually make out. Sean Connery. That's fantastic, Miss Moneypenny. Sean Connery, born on this day in 1930, Scottish actor and producer. James Bond. Firm believer in the idea that a woman deserves a good smack every now and again. Sorry, Sean. That's going to follow you, my guy. You can't say that. Then, expect to not have somebody comment on it during the Me Too generation. But yeah, so happy birthday to you there, Sean Connery. Regis Philbin, born on this day in 1931, American actor, television host, for a period of time with that Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. He was like Regis Christ for ABC. Remember, they were putting him on primetime every single day of the week for that stupid Who Wants to Be a Millionaire show. Remember when that show was like, people were rushing car accidents. People were getting into car accidents because they were rushing home to watch Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Regis Christ. They're saving the ABC network. It's like 5 nights a week. You know, the show used to be just a half hour. Now it's 3 hours, Monday through Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. He's gone. Regis is gone. Regis died a couple of years ago. Tom Skerritt was born on this day in 1933. Happy birthday to American actor Tom Skerritt. Tom Skerritt, perennial cool guy. Mustache man. One of the great Tom Skerritt. One of the great mustaches. I know when you think of the great mustaches, you go to, who do you go to? Well, you go to Burt Reynolds, right? You go to Tom Selleck. Maybe you go to Mike Ditka. There are great mustaches in the history of mustaching. And I think Tom Skerritt deserves his place. Tom Skerritt, for those of you who don't know, he was a character actor, but always a super cool guy. About Top Gun, the original Top Gun. He was Maverick's flight instructor. Was his name Viper? I don't know what his name was. Anyway, he was the boss. He was the guy that was he was the instructor to the Top Gun pilots. You know, with the mustache, Maverick. That guy. Totally cool. Tom Skerritt, still alive too, thankfully. Love Tom Skerritt. Born on this day in 1951, Rob Halford, English heavy metal singer-songwriter, Judas Priest. Pulled one of the great switcheroos on homophobic teen boy metalheads from the 1980s, didn't he? He pulled the switcheroo. He's like, yeah, we're like dudes and we're mettaling out. And by the way, I'm gay. What? What did he say? Nothing, man. It's just a lyric. Okay, keep rocking. It's like Rob Halford once said in an interview, if he had any regrets about maybe staying closeted to a very masculine young audience all those years, and he said, closeted, did you see how I was dressed? Which, when you look at Rob Halford and Judas Priest from like 1986, he's dressed like a gay sex toy, and it was, no, man, that's metal. That's not gay, that's metal. There's a fine line, we've learned, between metal and very gay bathhouse, leather gay, stud, dog chain gay. They're very, very fine line. And I think that Rob Halford is probably patient zero for blurring that line, for taking it there. So good for him. Elvis Costello, also born on this day. Elvis Costello, born on this day in 1954. I like Elvis Costello. I've seen Elvis Costello a number of times. The last time I saw Elvis Costello was so boring. He opened for the Police. It was when the Police reunited, 12 years ago or something like that. It was a while back. And he opened for the Police, and I was very excited. That's because for me, I'm from the 80s. That's a great bill, Elvis Costello and the Police. I thought that was going to be a good show. And it was a good show. I just thought maybe it was because I was so excited to see the Police that I was like, okay, enough, Elvis. But there was just... Elvis got a little self-indulgent, and, I felt a little bored by him. But whatever. Happy birthday to you. Tim Burton, born on this day. Tim Burton, American director, producer, and screenwriter, 1958. Tim Burton, born on this day. Tim Burton film draft. Nah, I don't think I could do a Tim Burton film draft justice. I like to do drafts. I looked at this and I thought, could I do a Tim Burton film draft justice? And then, I came down on the side of, I'm not weird enough to do a Tim Burton. I am not weird enough. Tim Burton is a god among the weirdo set. And I'm a little weird, but I'm not like super weirdo, right? So there are things that Tim Burton has done that are probably really impressive and really cool. I'm just not weird enough to judge them accurately. So Tim Burton draft, I don't know, Beetlejuice. There you go. There you go. That's my Tim Burton draft. But see, he's done a Batman, maybe? I'll throw a Batman in there. I don't know. But he's done cool stuff. I'm just not really all that up on Tim Burton because when I see that it's a new Tim Burton thing, I go, am I in the mood to get that weird? And either I am or I'm not. Born on this day. Here's a guy who played it right, dude. This is a guy, seriously. Before I tell you his name, round of applause. Let me tell you about this guy. I'll lay it out to you this way. I am impressed by this guy. I don't know if it's luck. I don't know if it was by design. I don't know if he had a plan. But dude is celebrating a birthday today. This guy had he had one very big hit song. It was a big hit song, but it was one of those hit songs that's a novelty song that's totally forgettable. And, there's been millions of them. And the song was like 40 years ago. And we still know this guy's name. That's the whole point of this. This guy had a one-hit novelty song like 40 years ago. And we still know his name. I'm still mentioning his birthday. Now, there have been millions of other acts that have had one-hit novelty songs that I couldn't even remember. Who did that? Remember that silly song, I get knocked down, but I get up again. Remember that? Chumbawamba. Okay. So there's another one. There's a lot of these. There is no reason that this guy that I'm about to mention to you shouldn't be I don't know, over the past 30 years, multiple DUIs, in and out of prison, broke. Maybe he won a Grammy, so maybe he then desperately sells that or auctions that Grammy on eBay. These are the stories that we should be associating with somebody who had the career that this person had. But we're not, because this dude had a baby named Miley Cyrus, and it's Billy Ray Cyrus's birthday. This guy could very easily be parking cars in Nashville, Tennessee today, but he's not. He's not. He held on to every ounce of whatever he had, and he gave birth to a child, and he said, there's gold in that their child. And now Billy Ray Cyrus is still a big star, not relevant. I don't know, he's putting out music that people buy, but he is a star in the terms of what a Q rating is. A Q rating is what the marketing and advertising agency uses to gauge how popular an individual is, right? So he's got a high Q rating. People know who Billy Ray Cyrus is, and they shouldn't. We shouldn't know who the guy who wrote Achy Breaky Heart 40 years ago is today. We should be like, what was the name of that guy? Remember that guy? But we don't do that because of his daughter. So happy birthday to you, Billy Ray Cyrus. Your daughter's an icon, and now you're going to be famous for that forever. Jeff Tweedy. Here's a guy who never even licked a bit of the success that Billy Ray Cyrus had, and yet Jeff Tweedy is one of the great artists of our time. Jeff Tweedy, born on this day in 1967, American singer, songwriter, musician, Wilco. But a lot of Jeff Tweedy solo stuff. So thirsty. Yankee Hotel, Casino Queen. That song, Casino Queen, is on my Spotify. I love the song, Casino Queen. It's so chaotic. I love Wilco. Anyway, happy birthday to you, Jeff Tweedy. Born on this day in 1968, Rachel Ray, American chef, author, and television host. Well, you can do a lot worse than getting yourself a Rachel Ray, huh? I mean, imagine that. Imagine Rachel Ray is... Rachel Ray is who you end up spending. I mean, she's really cute, right? She's cute, successful, ambitious. She obviously knows what she's doing. But imagine the house you come home to. Imagine you just end up married to Rachel Ray. And it's it's the best of all the worlds, because she seems really nice. And that's kind of the most important thing. If you're going to spend the rest of your life with somebody, let's just start from the very entry level position. Is she nice? Yeah, she's nice. She seems nice. She seems like she'd be nice to be around. Is she, could you be attracted to her? Yeah, of course you could. Yeah. I mean, we're not talking, she's not Angelina Jolie, but she's adorable. She's cute. She's fine. But then you're going to tell me that she makes a totally kick-ass house. Every time you come in, it's going to be this is the best house in the neighborhood. And then you're going to tell me that the refrigerator is going to be stocked with just amazing shit. Just amazing, really great shit. And you're going to tell me that she's going to make dinner every night and it's going to be something crazy. And then on top of all that, you're going to tell me that she's going to be worth $100 million because of all of that? Sign me up. You can do a lot worse than being in a relationship than Rachel Ray. Happy birthday, Rachel Ray. Who else is having a birthday? Big Shot Bob. Born on this day, Robert Horry, American basketball player and sportscaster. Big Shot Bob. Boy, oh boy. They thrilled a lot of people down there in San Antonio, huh? Big Shot Bob. Born on this day in 1970, Robert Horry. Born on this day in 1987, last birthday, American model and actress, and I believe Mrs. Ryan Reynolds, right? Blake Lively, ladies and gentlemen, celebrating a birthday today. She's Mrs. Ryan. I get Blake Lively and there's another one. It's another pretty girl who Blake Lively's very pretty, but she's like disposable pretty. She's like, she's 5'11", blonde, thin, blue eyes, and like perfectly shaped face. Yeah, there's like a million of those. I mean, that's good. Don't get me wrong. We're not gonna throw it in the trash pile, but just move it over there with the millions of other generic beautiful blondes. So she never really stood out to me. The other one though, she was with is the one that I liked. Who's the other one? Who's the other one? Blake Lively, and they don't like each other anymore. Apparently, they hate each other. It's gonna kill me now. It's gonna kill me if I can't remember the name of Blake Lively's nemesis, who I like better. Blake Lively and something. Oh, really? It's something. It's got a first name and a last name. Well, I don't know. We're in the era of Zendaya, right? And so could be a one name person. Anyway, I can't think of her name. This is, apparently I don't have that information in my head anymore. A couple of deaths to run through. And when I say a couple of deaths, this might be, we're going to do 3 deaths here. 3 people passed away on this day, all in the 2000s. So these are all people that died in our lifetime. So these are all people that died on this day that we should remember where we were when these happened, because let me tell you, these are 3 fairly significant passings of the past, 20 years or so. First off, passing on this day in 2009, American politician born in 1972, multi-time presidential candidate Ted Kennedy. That's right. The Lion, they called him. The Lion of the Senate. Ted Kennedy. Died on this day in 2009. That's a big one. That's a big death. It's a big American death. Then on this day in 2012, bigger. This one's bigger. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for a man who we lost on this day in 2012, even bigger than Ted Kennedy, Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong, the first man on the moon, died on this day in 2012. And then dead on this day in 2018, they called him the Lion of the Senate, John McCain. Yeah, they call everybody Lion. If you've been in the Senate for a lot of years and you die, they call you the Lion of the Senate. They called Ted Kennedy that. They called John McCain that. Look at that on this day. Ted Kennedy, Neil Armstrong, and John McCain. That is crazy. Still can't think of the girl that Blake Lively doesn't like anymore. And I know why she doesn't like. She doesn't like her because she's prettier. Because she's prettier. It's very rare that Blake Lively, Mrs. Ryan Reynolds, is in a room with a girl that's prettier than her. But this one is prettier than her. I just can't think of her name now. You people, seriously, you people in the chat room can't help me with this? You people in the chat room don't know who the other pretty blonde is that Blake Lively doesn't like, but they used to be really good friends. I think they were on a show together. They both got famous at the same time, but now they don't talk anymore because there's something between them. Who is it? Come on, it's Blake Lively. And why is my hat? Why do I look like a teenage moron? My hat needs to be fixed. There we go. All right, there you have it. You people are of no help to me. Let's get into what's trending today, because that's what this show is about. We run through all of the things that people are talking about. We do it quickly because I'm in the throes of a really bad allergy day. Uvalde is trending. That's right. They finally got around to firing that sheriff down there in Uvalde, Texas, who completely shit the bed during, that tragedy of last school year. The Uvalde School Board has fired Chief of Police Pete Arenando. Collect about 3-4 months worth of checks after doing what he did. But hey, look, he's finally out of there. Good. Everybody needs to be fired. I don't know why the mayor is still in office. The mayor's still in office because he's hoping Abbott wins re-election and then he's going to get a nice politically appointed job. That's why the mayor's still in office. And Abbott can't cleanly appoint him to some job if he's not in office when Abbott wins re-election. So it's all just white. Light and meester, Jeff Ballard. Jeff freaking Ballard. You have no idea what I owe to Jeff Ballard. That would have driven me insane all day. Blake Lively and Leighton Meester. That's what it is. I am on Team Meester. I am on Team Leighton Meester. I think she's prettier. And when I say, Pugs doesn't think Blake Lively's pretty. Why? Because I said Leighton Meester is prettier? No! Blake Lively's gorgeous. Blake Lively's a 10. Blake Lively is a 10 plus on anybody's scale. Leighton Meester's prettier. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you. That you have no idea how that would have bothered me in the back of my head. It would have bugged me all day because I wouldn't have looked it up. I would have forced myself. This is like one of those old people exercises that we have to start doing. I wouldn't have looked it up. I would have forced my brain to pull that light and meester tidbit from somewhere. And I didn't need to because Jeff helped me. You have no idea. Ukraine is trending as well today. Apparently, we took our eye off the ball there. We lost interest in it. Just, I can only take so many images of people burning inside apartment buildings, right? I mean, it's just, there's too much bad. We got to a point with the war in Ukraine where the really bad stuff started coming in waves, and they just got to be too much. So we all kind of backed away. But the Ukraine is trending again today because apparently it's getting even worse there because of this situation with this nuclear power plant. I don't know if you know about this, but they're worried about a meltdown now. They're fighting inside a nuclear power plant. They're launching missiles into a nuclear power. It's crazy. Anyway, that's why Ukraine is trending. I don't want to talk about Ukraine. I stopped talking about Ukraine. If you're interested in the Ukraine power plant story, that's why it's trending. Basically, there's fear now that this power plant is going to melt down in the Ukraine. And if that happens, oh boy, now we got a whole... This is the one thing the world was concerned about. All of the nuclear power. All of that was Chernobyl. Certainly they were worried about Chernobyl because that place is already cracked, but they were worried about the other ones too. And now we got one. This one's down in the Donbas region in the south. So this is sort of in the exact opposite part of the country. So it's the polar opposite, I suppose, of the country of where Chernobyl is, but still it's a very concerning situation happening there in the Ukraine. California is trending today because looks like the California Constitution is about to be altered. The California Constitution is going to be altered. It's going to pass. They got the votes. It's going to pass overwhelmingly in California, bipartisan lines. Although there are some crazy people that are fighting it, but it looks like it is going to pass. Oh no, you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have presented it that way. Because now that I think about it, I got that bit of information from somebody who was offering an opinion, and I shouldn't have mentioned anything about the vote count in California on this because I don't know. But they're going to have it written into the California Constitution that abortion rights for women are protected. So this is a way that some states are a measure to amend. I'm just going to read it. I'm going to let the Los Angeles Times explain it. A measure to amend the state constitution to add protections for abortion rights appears on tracks for victory as the state's issue of reproductive rights appear to be strongly motivating state voters. A UC Berkeley Institute of Governmental Studies poll released Wednesday showed 7 in 10 California voters. That's it. That's what they were saying. Not legislators, but the actual voters. 7 in 10 California voters support the proposed constitutional amendment. So 70% of people in California are saying, yeah, protect these rights here and make it a part of the Constitution. That's why California is trending today. Here, this is a... This isn't necessarily trending, as you'll get by the headline, but it's a headline that's going around. And I read the story and I saw it in 3 different places. So I thought, well, that constitutes something we could talk about on the show. Here's a topic. So there is a bar. I'll read the headline. Unsocial distancing. Nightclub bans staring without getting verbal consent and hires safety officers in pink vests to police revelers. So there's this bar, there's this club. It's called, it's down in Sydney, Australia. The venue also asked clubbers not to turn up if their sole purpose for their night out is to meet someone to pick up. Club 77 in Sydney, Australia. You now must get consent if you're going to stare at a woman from across the bar. That's right. And to enforce this, the bar has hired safety patrols of people who will be walking around the bar in pink vests, making sure that you're staring at that woman. Do you have consent? That kind of thing. And if you don't have consent, which is going to be weird, although also a very good way to meet somebody. This is a very good way to break the ice. You get in trouble with a pink vest And then you have to go, hey, he says I was staring at you. Was I staring at you? Ice broken. Thank you. There you go. Ice broken. Really, let's be honest about what this is. This is a way to keep ugly people from, trying to hook up with women that are not in their league. That's what this is all about. This is what this is all about. Tom Brady walks into this bar, can stare at anybody without consent, and it's going to be fine because everybody Tom Brady stares at. Jeff Glenn from the chat room, he shows up, he starts staring at people, he's getting thrown out on his ass. This is about attractive people not wanting to be around ugly people who are horny. That's all this story is. So we're going to move on. It's stupid. Look, let me tell you what this is. It's a publicity stunt. It's a publicity. The guy who runs this bar, the marketer, whoever it is that put this out there is a genius. The pink vests. That's so absurd. It's silly. It's silly by design. It's silly so that people will become outraged, so that they'll talk about this club, so that the club will get some buzz. That's all this is. This isn't a legit thing. This is an absurdity by a brilliant club promoter. Good job, sir. Good job. Because if I was in Sydney, I would go to this club tonight just to check it out. I want to see the pink vests in action. That's all it is. George Foreman is trending. This is bad. George Foreman is being accused of sexual assault. That's right. Apparently, George Foreman groomed and, over the course of years, sexually assaulted some underage girls. George Foreman is accused of sexual assault, says the headline. Of course, the women making the accusations are in their 60s, and this happened all the way back in the 1970s. So, but it's a complicated one, so I'll just read it to you, and then maybe I'll give you my thoughts. 2 women filed lawsuits Wednesday in California alleging that George Foreman, the former world heavyweight boxing champion, sexually abused them when they were teenagers in California back in the 1970s. According to lawsuits, the women, using the pseudonyms Gwen H. and Denise S. to protect their identities, initially met Foreman when they were under 10 years old through their fathers. One man was a boxer and a sparring partner of Foreman, while the other was a boxing manager and longtime advisor to Foreman. Okay, so these are the children of one of his sparring partners from the 70s and his manager from the 70s. Okay. Foreman then, according to the suit, Foreman then groomed the girls for several years, according to the complaints, before forcing them to have sex with him in places ranging from a San Francisco hotel to an apartment in Beverly Hills. The 2 women, who are both in their early 60s now, filed the complaint in Los Angeles County Superior Court. Foreman also told one plaintiff, according to the complaint, that she could never tell anyone about their sexual relationship because, and here's the quote he supposedly gave her, "You don't want your dad to lose his job, do you?" Representatives for Foreman referred inquiries about the lawsuit, in which he is identified only as John Doe 1, to a statement they released last month announcing that he was anticipating a lawsuit. Here's the statement. "Over the past 6 months, 2 women have been trying to extort millions of dollars each from me and from my family. They are falsely claiming that I sexually abused them over 45 years ago in the 1970s. I adamantly and categorically deny these allegations," Foreman said. He added, "I will work with my lawyers to fully and truthfully expose my accusers' scheme, to expose my accuser's scheme and defend myself in court. I don't pick fights, but I don't run away from them either." Foreman, now 73, may be well known for pitching grills and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so there you have it. That's the story on George Foreman. There are a couple of questions here on this. The first question, and I think the most important question, okay, is, and this is again where I talk about, guy that reacts, the guy who sits in the front of my lobe and just reacts to thing. And then there's thoughtful guy in the back who's like laying on a couch and he kind of thinks about it while front lobe guy is ranting. And sometimes thoughtful guy in the back will go, well, yeah, but what about? So there's a little bit of that going on here. The most important thing to me is the question of this. Do I believe that George Foreman in the 1970s was capable of what he's being accused of? Do I believe he's capable of it? Yes. Yes, I do believe it. 70s were a wild time, man. I mean, what do you want from me? Bill freaking Cosby. Come on, man. I mean, people did really shitty things. People sexually were like, I, I don't know if I mean, you knew better, right? I mean, in 1975, a 30-year-old professional boxer knew he shouldn't be having sex with a 14-year-old. But do I believe it happened in the crazy, wild 70s of the Playboy Mansion in Hollywood and Roman Polanski and, all of this stuff, the casting couch, sex. So, yeah, I believe it's possible. So then the second thing is, if this is so long ago, why are they doing it now? Right? So that becomes a problem. You're like, what are they doing? This is like bringing this up. But now remember, I've already decided that it is possible. It might have happened. And then if I believe that it happened, do I think that, because it happened so long ago, it should lessen the punishment? I don't know. I don't know. What else you want to talk about? This is where I bog out of this argument. I don't know. I think if he did it, do I think he could have done it? Yeah. Do I know anything more about it? Nah. Do I also understand on some level that there is a reason that maybe these women didn't say anything in the 1980s and the 1990s and 10 years ago? Yeah, because it may have been more difficult for them. It may have been the times have changed if you haven't noticed. And people who come out with a story like this about a big celebrity is probably in 2022 more likely to be treated better and treated more seriously than if they had done this in, say, 1996. That's all I'm saying. So maybe that's why they came out now. I don't know. I don't know what to think of it. As I say, more details. I need more details. I need more context. But ultimately, do I believe that George Foreman could have been involved in something like this in the 1970s? Abso-freaking-lutely. People were nuts in the 1970s. We're learning this more each and every day. People were nuts. I just talked about Sean Connery. Sean Connery in the 1970s went on TV with Barbara Walters and said, yeah, sometimes you got to smack your wife around, and thought nothing of it. And thought there was going to be no problem with that. And there really wasn't. It sort of never stopped him from getting a job. Nobody ever said, I regret working with Sean Connery because of the statements that he made on Barbara Walters. Nobody did any of that. Sean Connery worked for another 30 years. So I don't know. 70s were crazy. Could George Foreman have done this? Maybe. Dallas Cowboys are trending. This is some bad news. Some bad news for we Cowboy Nation. It looks like Tyron Smith is out indefinitely. Hurt his hamstring. That's right. Tyron Smith, one of the big important, the left tackle. Come on, man. Tyron Smith's a baller. You need Smith out there. Cowboys left tackle Tyron Smith suffers avulsion fracture of knee. Says, that's different than what the other one said. He's out until at least December, it's being said. Dallas Cowboys will be without Pro Bowl left tackle Tyron Smith for a significant stretch to open the season. Smith suffered an avulsion fracture of the knee in Wednesday's practice and needs surgery. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported Thursday Smith won't be back on the field until December, if at all, this season. So there we go. That's no fun. Let's see. What else do we have here? George Foreman Cowboys. More injury news. Chet Holmgren, Oklahoma City Thunder. Looks like he's out for the entire season. He hurt his foot, and womp womp. That sucks. That sucks for OKC fans because they were very excited about Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren had a couple of cool ass summer league games. I saw some highlights of him, and now gone for the stretch. It looks like that's unfortunate. Moviepass. We talked about this the other day. Moviepass is now back. So if you are somebody who enjoys Moviepass, what is Moviepass? Moviepass is that. Hold on. Moviepass is that deal where you pay a monthly subscription and you get to just walk into movie theaters. You get a card and you walk into movie theaters and you get to see as many movies as you want, or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever the deal is. I was never a part of it, but I have a friend who was a part of Moviepass. Moviepass went out of business a couple of years ago. The original founders of Moviepass have purchased back the rights of Moviepass and they are restarting it. So if you are interested in such a thing, here's what you need to do. You just need to get on a list. It's not active yet, but Moviepass is announcing that if you download the app and put the app on the phone, you will be in the list for the first whatever. I guess they're going to roll it out small with just a certain number of customers, clients, whatever you want to call it. So if you want to be a part of it, Moviepass, download the app, go find the Moviepass app, and all it is a sign up now. Get your name on the list. Dogs are trending. It's National Dog Day. Dogs are trending. Who don't like dogs? I'm a dog guy over a cat guy. Used to hate cats. Don't hate cats as much anymore. I understand cats have their place. Just, I'm more of a dog person. All right, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got on dog. That's all I got on Dog Talk for National Dog Day. Let's see. What's this? Science deniers and Bill Nye. Bill Nye, the science guy. Bill Nye, the science guy. He's trending. He's got a new show that's coming out, and he aims to win over science deniers. That's right. Bill Nye hopes people who deny science can be gradually convinced that it is real. His new show, The End is Nigh, premiering Thursday on Peacock, is one way to present them with persuasive evidence. People can change their mind over the course of about 2 years, Nye told UPI in a recent interview. So patience with something like this is key. All right. So what's the show going to be about? I like Bill Nye. Bill Nye's fun. Each episode of The End is Nigh presents a cataclysmic scientific event that could end the world. Dramatic reenactments show Nye acting in disaster scenarios and then he encounters politicians who won't make changes to avert them. Okay, is this just going to be a global warming thing? The End is Nigh also presents scientific evidence and suggests people could implement. The End is Nigh also presents scientific evidence and suggestions people could implement before it gets that bad. He compares the argument to convincing flat earthers that the earth is round. That's where this whole damn thing started. Look, there are science deniers who aren't really science deniers. They're political science deniers. They're selectively denying certain elements of science because it fits the team that they're on, the political team that they're on. That's what a lot of that is. But man, before that became a thing, we had these flat earthers, right? And the dinosaurs weren't real. We have those people. This has been a problem in this country for a long time. We've been allowing these idiots to just kind of go around and say these things and we laugh it off. It's dangerous now. We got a whole bunch of people out there that don't know what to believe. Nobody believes anything anymore. Flat earthers. Those pictures from space, this is not real. What do you mean it's not real? We don't really take pictures from space. What are you talking about? Do you have a cell phone? Have you never used Google Maps? What is wrong with you people? No, it's all just a big lizard people scam. Oh, stop it with the lizard people and Tom Hanks being a pedophile and all that stuff. Ugh. Pickleball is trending. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on the pickleball trending. Pickleball, I hate pickleball. I don't know what pickleball is. I see pickleball courts everywhere. Is this a new sport? I saw something on TV. It was pickleball on TV. I don't like pickleball. Don't know what it is. Pickleball is trending. Madonna is also trending. Madonna is trending. This bugs me. This Madonna is trending because her daughter, Lourdes, I don't even know what her last name is. Lourdes Leon, is that it? All right. So here's the headline. I love this headline. It's stupid. It's stupid promotional. Just Madonna trying to make her daughter famous. That's the only reason it's trending. There's not like any big story attached with this. But this bothers me. This here, I saw this. Look at this. The headline is that they look identical. Madonna's daughter Lourdes Leon, 25, looks like mom's twin. She looks like Lourdes Leon looks exactly like Madonna. All right, so there's Lourdes Leon, right? I don't know what the fuck. When Madonna ever looked like that, I don't know. Yeah. It's her twin. Look at her. I looked at that picture and I thought, that's Madonna. Wow, look how good Madonna looks. Turns out it's her daughter. She looks nothing like her mom. Here's her mom. That's Madonna. We all know what Madonna looks like. There's Lourdes. Lourdes has got the big fake boobs. She's got plastic surgery face. She doesn't look genetically tethered to anybody that was in her familiar ancestral line. She now looks like some kind of modern clone, the big fake lips and the hair extensions and the wrong hair color. She doesn't look like Madonna anymore. They look like twins. They look like twins. Now you're going to start hearing that. You're going to start hearing that. Have you seen Lourdes Leon? Oh my God, she looks just like her mother. No, she doesn't. Stop it. This is that programming that I always tell you about. Just things that people say that just, it's not true, but they just say, Nickelback is the worst band ever. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Sarah Jessica Parker is so hot. What? The French are pussies, right? These are just things that people say. There's no truth to them at all, but we hear them and they sound good, and we don't really want to have to create our own opinion on the matter. So we just regurgitate the stupid programming that other people say. Madonna's daughter looks just like her. I've heard this before, and it bothers me. They don't look alike. All right. Now that I got that out of my system. National Banana Split Day. Happy National Banana Split Day to you. Excuse me. Oh, these damn. Everything. I'm just completely messed up with everything. Struggling, as Joe Namath might say. That's because the air conditioning just kicked on. And now I'm going to sneeze for the next 5. I'm miserable. I am miserable. I'm going to sneeze from the air conditioning because the air conditioning is, I don't know whether it's dust or pollen that's in there, and now I'm going to start sneezing from it. My pills are gone. My pills. I got one more. Got to save that so that I can do the 9 o'clock show tonight. Oh my God. It's Banana Split Day. Do you like the banana split? Are you someone that walks in and orders a banana split? If you are, you're a lunatic. You are. That is an example of a chaos mind. If you like a banana split, folks, too much going on in a banana split. That is somebody who can't make a decision. That is somebody who wants everything all the time right now. That is what a banana split is. There is no discipline. A person who orders a banana split has no discipline. A banana split has pineapples. It's got chocolate. It's got everything. I do not like a banana split. You know what I like to do? Because I'm a control freak. I like to be in control. I like to go up there and I like to say, give me 3 scoops of ice cream. And then they'll do 3 scoops. And I'll go, throw a banana in there. See, I will make a banana split, but I will make it my way. Not with just all the crap that they put in. I need the control. I can't just go give me a banana split. And then you're like, you got this thing with ice cream and gummy bears and sprinkles and pineapple. And it's like, what is this? There's way too much going on here. But happy Banana Split Day. You know what? Honestly, I'm not complicated. You know what I like? I like a nice hot fudge sundae from McDonald's. I like the McDonald's soft serve hot fudge sundae. It's pretty nice. But happy Banana Split Day. Let's see, what else do we got here? What else is happening? Okay, a couple of entertainment things I'll talk about. Welcome to Wrexham. This is apparently out now. I'm very excited about this. This is a show that I've been waiting to see for a while. Do you know what Welcome to Wrexham is? Welcome to Wrexham, I think we talked about it a few weeks back when they were starting to promote it. The first 2 episodes are now available. I'm not entirely sure where they're available, but we'll find them somewhere. Is it an FX show? Is it maybe on FX, which means it would also be on Hulu, which means that it might be. I don't know what it is. I don't know where you find Welcome to Wrexham. But Welcome to Wrexham is a docu-series that was created by 2 of the most powerful people in Hollywood. 2 of the most powerful people in Hollywood who also happen to be buddies and who love soccer or football. I don't know, whatever you want to call it in that part of the world. Soccer is what we call it here. They love soccer. So they went in together and they purchased a lowly team in Wales. They have a professional soccer team in Wales, and they went over there. These 2 Hollywood stars, they went over there and they basically ingratiated themselves with the community. They became the owners of the team, and they filmed themselves over the course of a period of time. It became a documentary and a docuseries. It's Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. Ryan Reynolds, obviously, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood right now. He's certainly a A-lister. He's in the top row of the A-listers. He's standing with Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt and all those guys. Ryan Reynolds has absolutely earned his place there over the past few years. And then Rob McElhenney, who is one of the most powerful behind the scenes people in television, in movies, in writing. Rob McElhenney is a writer. He is a producer. He is a television show creator. He is he's an actor. He's Mac. He's Mac. Rob McElhenney is Mac from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He also created that show, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So he's the executive producer and creator of the longest running situation comedy in the history of television, and the show that I consider to be the single funniest comedy in the history of television. He's also got a number of other shows in production at Apple TV. And so we're talking about two people who are incredibly powerful. A lot of money, a lot of stroke. They take over this team in Wales, and it's supposed to be great. I mean, if you like these guys, if you like Mac and Deadpool, right? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Ryan Reynolds and Mac from It's Always Sunny. You'll enjoy the series. I guess you don't even have to like soccer. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I enjoy all of those Netflix series, all those like Hard Knocks type series about soccer. I like them. I watch them. They're good stories. It's the Real Housewives for dudes. All of these shows, they're real. It's the same thing that women get when they watch Real Housewives shows. We get the exact same thing out of it. There's my guy, Ross Rubio. Where have you been, Ross Rubio? Ross Rubio's been missing. I felt bad about that. I felt bad, Ross, because I went to Facebook the other day. I saw I missed your birthday. It's our boy Ross Rubio's birthday. Let's see here. So welcome to Wrexham. It says, I love that the locals need subtitles. British viewers are baffled by hilarious U.S. translations of Welsh accents in Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney's Welcome to Wrexham documentary. A new documentary follows National League team Wrexham in North Wales. The show has been heaped with praise, but some fans question the subtitles. Welsh and Scottish accents have been translated for an American audience. Some accents were so indecipherable, they were simply captioned with question marks. British sports fans have been left baffled by the unorthodox subtitles of Welsh accents in the new documentary series on the football team bought by Hollywood stars Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. The pair bought the third oldest football club in the world, Wrexham AFC in North Wales, in 2020 as part of an ambitious bid to transform the club. Anyway, where can we see this? The first two episodes, the documentary, heavily geared towards an American audience, has raised a few eyebrows among British football fans for its subtitles of regional accents and the celebrity owner's limited knowledge of football. The American subtitle writer at Disney Plus, it says here it's at Disney Plus, has had to contend with packaging broad North Walian, Scouse, Broomy, and Mancunian accents for U.S. viewers. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Maybe this is Disney Plus over there because Disney Plus doesn't have FX. I don't know. Maybe you guys know. But anyway, I just Google Welcome to Wrexham, into your television. Just say, television, play Welcome to Wrexham. And maybe if you've got whatever service, it'll come up. Looks really good. There's 2 episodes. So that's what I'm going to watch tonight. I'm going to watch those 2 episodes. Oh, by the way, I've been telling you about my re-binge of Better Call Saul. So I finished Better Call Saul last night. Last night I finished Better Call Saul. The series is over for me. I understand how it all goes down. I know the whole story now. And I couldn't sleep after the last episode of Better Call Saul. So I just rolled into episode 1 of Breaking Bad, which wasn't really smart because if you watched the final season of Better Call Saul, which just concluded, I think last week was when the final episode aired. If you watched the final season of Better Call Saul, you realize that Better Call Saul essentially ended with, so I think there were 12 episodes in the final season. Better Call Saul ended after episode 10. Episode 11 and episode 12, the final 2 episodes of Better Call Saul, those episodes take place after the events of Breaking Bad. So remember, Better Call Saul was a prequel to Breaking Bad. Everything that we saw in Better Call Saul took place before the events of Breaking Bad, right up until episode 10 of the final season of Better Call Saul. At that point, at episode 11 and 12, then they'd skip over Breaking Bad and they show you what Saul is doing after the events. I don't know, it was a little confusing, but if you have a firm grasp of that universe, of that Breaking Bad Better Call Saul universe, it was done very well. I thought it was done very well, to the point where I was like, okay, now I think I maybe need to go back and watch an episode of Breaking Bad just to kind of. And now I'm watching Breaking Bad again. Apparently, I don't know. I thought it was great. Wasn't episode 10 of Better Call Saul called Breaking Bad? I believe it was. I think season 6 maybe? I guess season 6, episode 10 of the television series Better Call Saul is titled Breaking Bad. And it's the episode where they bring back, like, Jesse. Is it Jesse? What's his name? I don't know. Pinkman, Jesse Pinkman. They bring back Jesse Pinkman and Walter White. So Cranston and whoever plays Jesse Pinkman, they're in the entire episode. It's good. It's good. If you haven't watched it, I won't tell you how it ends. Won't tell you where it goes, but it does jump around in timeline a bit. The last 2 episodes are in black and white. Black and white designed so that this isn't real time. This is happening either in the future or whatever. Anyway, we got it. Welcome to Wrexham. That's the whole point. Welcome to Wrexham is now available out there if you want to watch it. Don't Worry, Darling is trending again. This Olivia Wilde movie that is getting all kinds of big push from every corner of the movie promotion industry. Don't Worry, Darling is trending again. Olivia Wilde is now talking about how she had to fire Shia LaBeouf. Apparently, before Harry Styles was the star of this new movie, it was Shia LaBeouf. And Shia LaBeouf he made Florence Pugh, the female lead in the movie. He made Florence Pugh feel unsafe. And then it was revealed that Harry Styles, Olivia Wilde said that Harry Styles has a style of, Shia LaBeouf had a style of acting, method acting, that made everyone uncomfortable. So it's basically an actor's way of saying, yeah, he was a real asshole and no one wanted to work with him. So we got rid of him and we hired the kid from the boy band. And now Harry Styles. Is about to become a big movie star. Britney Spears is trending because Britney Spears, again, I said this earlier, Britney Spears doesn't trend. Nobody talks about Britney Spears because of music, because of any contribution to our culture. We talk about Britney Spears because she has now crossed over into the curiosity zone. Britney Spears is a curiosity. She's trending because she left Instagram again. She's been going a little nuts on Instagram. She's been getting, not nuts. I don't know. Who decides if she's nuts, right? I mean, Britney's been a little nuts. She's been doing silly Britney things, nude photos and all that kind of stuff on Instagram. And she's been taking a lot of criticism for it over the last couple of days. And so she's gone again. Britney's gone. Good job, people. You've chased Britney off Instagram. And that is the entire reason why she's trending. Because Britney's been chased off Instagram. All right, that's going to do it for all the stuff that I had prepared for you today. I am definitely going to end this show a little bit early today. I apologize. Not yet. I'm going to go through some of the stuff that's happening now. But just bear with me as I get through this bout of whatever the heck this is that's going on with me. Trying to push it. Hobby Lobby's trending. Hobby Lobby's trending, and it can't be for a good reason. Hobby Lobby's trending. Hobby Lobby is run by white nationalists who use religion as an excuse to hate women. Okay, we're going to move on from that one. No further conversation needs to be had about that subject matter. It's freaking Hobby Lobby. Why don't you back the F off? It's Hobby Lobby. Go to Michael's if you don't like Hobby Lobby, but stop it. Stop it. Why are you making Hobby Lobby trend? What's the matter with you people? Let's see what else. Cock Commander. Cock Commander is trending at number 3. This was trending earlier. I didn't mention it because I didn't think it was all that important, but now it's up to number 3 on Twitter. Cock Commander is trending because team mascot down there in South Carolina, University of South Carolina, the Gamecocks. What's his name? Sir Big Spur. Sir Big Spur is the mascot's name. South Carolina's legal team is advising against the Gamecocks using the name Sir Big Spur moving forward. I don't know why, but apparently they're looking at moving away from calling their what do they got? Their game? What do they got? A chicken? What do they got? What, or are they moving? Don't call it Sir Big Spur because Gamecocks are fighting chickens and they use spurs to kill those. I don't know what's going on here. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of people with new name suggestions. The top new name suggestions for South Carolina State, their little mascot, Chuck Norris, Marco Polo, and the Cock Commander. That's why Cock Commander is trending. Chet Holmgren is still trending. He's going to be out for a while. Let's see here. Sony's trending. Sony is raising the price of its PlayStation 5 game consoles across all major markets across the US by as much as 20%. Isn't that great? Been trying to get a PlayStation 5 for my kid now for, I don't know, better part of a year and a half, 2 years maybe. I don't know how long it's been. I can't walk into a store and buy a PlayStation 5. Where do you get them? And when you get them on the secondhand market, and they're still like ridiculous amounts of money. So now PlayStation, who isn't stocking the shelves with PlayStation 5s, is going to raise the price of the non-existent PlayStation 5s that we can't buy already. That's great. That's just great. Jerry Jones is trending because apparently Jerry Jones did some stunt today on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. They appeared at Cowboys headquarters in the helicopter. Camp's done, right? Camp broke. There's this football camp is over, right? It's now gearing up for the real season. They're practicing. And I don't know. It is. Camp's over. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is trending. Jeffrey Dean Morgan from The Walking Dead. Love him. What was his name? See, again, now I got to turn to the chat room again for help here. What was his name? Guy with the bat, bad guy, Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He's awesome. Anyway, he's joining The Boys. If you like The Boys, the TV show The Boys on Amazon Prime, it's awesome. The Boys is great. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is going to join The Boys. Don't know what he's going to play, but he's going to be awesome because he's great. Patrick Beverley is joining the Lakers. Lakers just getting older and older. Looks like Ryan Murphy is trending. Ryan Murphy is trending with Jeffrey Dahmer, so I have to conclude that Ryan Murphy is making a Jeffrey Dahmer movie. Sneak peek of Evan Peters as Jeffrey Dahmer in Ryan Murphy's Dahmer for Netflix. All right, whatever. I'll see it. I used to love Ryan Murphy. I think Ryan Murphy is very good at what he does. I thought Nip Tuck was his best work. And then he showed his versatility with American Horror Story and Glee, being able to do all. He's a genius. He's a brilliant guy. I love his Ryan Murphy's what is that like where he does like, didn't he do The People versus O.J. Simpson too? Wasn't that him? I think maybe. Anyway, I love all of that stuff that he does. I love it. But he engages, it doesn't engage in, it's almost like he is the creator of a style that could only exist in this era of creation. And it's almost like Ryan Murphy is very much into a gay-themed gore porn. Like, and porn, I don't mean porn in the way we think of porn like sex. I mean porn as in no artistic value. The definition of pornography, something that holds no artistic worth or value. So slasher porn, basically slasher stuff, gay slasher stuff is like what Ryan Murphy has really sort of leaned into. Like, and I don't know, made a little uncomfortable by it. So yeah, so him making a Dahmer movie doesn't surprise me. He made the Andrew Cunanan movie. He made, anytime there's like a gay guy who does some really despicable stuff, Ryan Murphy will make a miniseries about it. And it's interesting. It's just, he's so good at what he does. It's disturbing. It's very disturbing. It's when Ryan Murphy goes disturbing, it ain't all Glee all the time. Sometimes it's American Horror Story. Sometimes it's weird. All right, so I'll watch the Dahmer thing, but there's going to be like a lot of blood, and there's going to be gore, and there's going to be torture, and there's going to be it's all going to be set against like the backdrop of gay culture, and it's going to be messy. It's so violent. It's like he's violent and he's gory, and it's just whatever. I enjoy him though. He's good with dialogue. He is good with dialogue. I will give him that. Okay, he's good with dialogue. Goldman Sachs is trending. I'll say it again. This can't be good. Let's see what Goldman Sachs is trending for. All right, has to do with the student loan thing, and we're not talking about that anymore. It happened. I gave my few thoughts, but we don't need to beat a dead horse over something like that. All right, that's it, folks. I think Oh, God. Okay, don't need to see this. I was just distracted by a new viral video of a Karen yelling at a bunch of people who are Indian. And by Indian, I mean, not Native American. I mean Indian people. Just a lady, a Karen yelling at Indian people, tell them to go home. We don't need none of that. All right, folks, that's going to do it. I'm going to cut this show a little bit short. I am terribly sorry. I almost didn't do a show at all today. I was feeling so awful. But I thank you for joining me. And I got one of these left. I'm going right back to bed now. I'm going to jump in bed. And we will be back at 9 o'clock, myself and Parker, for Pugs and Parker proudly present Pillow Talk here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. Stop it. Hold on, guys. I hope you appreciate how much I've been struggling today, because I really have been. I have got my poetry. I have got my songs. Oh, Adam, did you see the video? Adam's like, she calls them engines. Does she? I don't even know why I need to see that. I probably won't. I don't need to see that stuff. I get it. These idiot ladies are out. These idiot people are out there. So many. Oh. Hey, my sneezing stopped. That's good. Oh, but also the air conditioning stopped. So that's probably why. As always, anything big happens, I'll pop back on. I'll pop, we get some big breaking news that occurs. So make sure you're subscribing and all that kind of stuff. Help the show if you can. And we'll say this every time. If you can donate to the show, we greatly appreciate it. This show runs on your gratuities. Treat me like I'm your bartender. Treat me like I'm your car park. Treat me like I'm your whatever. Drop a little something in the tip jar if you can. It'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. And that's it. We'll see you back here at 9 o'clock tonight. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye. And Ross, good to have you back there, guy. I was a little bit worried. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little now, things are going good. I always had to be on guard, that is understood. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. I am on a never-ending quest.